back to Monday's Cooking with Mondy class. Today we're going to be making eggless chocolate brownies. But first, everybody wash your hands. Okay, so the first thing we're going to show you are the ingredients. So you're going to need baking powder, cocoa powder, plain flour, self-raising flour, salt, caster sugar, vanilla extract, butter or oil, but if you have butter, please use butter, and water. Now, I'll give you a few minutes to get that, so I'll just have that there. Hello to everyone who's just tuning in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to preheat our oven to 170 degrees Celsius. Alright, now what we're going to do is... now what we're going to do is we're going to get a heavy pan, so this, and mix the cup of flour, or 40 grams. So I am using American measurements because that was on the recipe. So we're going to take this flour and put it in this pan. And then we're going to take 1 cup of water, or 240 millilitres. It doesn't have to be warm or cold water, it can be either one. Then we're going to take that, and you could probably use your parent for this, so I'm going to ask Mama to start heating the pan. And because I have had experience with stir fries, I make my dad's dinner quite a bit, I am going to do this part. If you don't feel safe doing it, kids, then you don't have to. You can get your parents to do it. But you're going to have to keep mixing until, the first stage, keep mixing until there's no chunks left. And then once you're done with that, just keep mixing until it starts getting a bit thick. So
does it have to be sort of smooth consistency?
Yeah. So right now it's quite liquidy because, as you can see, if I do this, it's not scraping to the bottom, and you can't see the bottom. But once you start like scraping and you can see a bit of the bottom for a bit, then that's when you should probably stop.
And how long does that normally take?
2-3 minutes maybe.
Okay.
So you just have to keep going. Elbow grease works very well. And interesting fact, if you smell it, it smells a lot like pizza dough. Which you all know what that smells like because I made it. Okay, it's getting quite thick now, but it needs to be a bit more thick. It needs to be quite a smooth consistency. Now, okay, it's getting thick because, as you can see the pan. That is when you should be good. Okay. Yeah. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the butter, and you're going to want to get a grown-up to do this, so you're going to want to get a grown-up to take that off, take that away. And what you're going to put that into a nice big bowl. And in the meantime, you're going to want to get where is the butter? 65 grams or half a cup of butter, and put it in here. Now, you will want your parent to do this bit because the butter does start spewing. Spitting and spewing away. As you can see, it's already happening. So when you're scraping in, be very careful. Ladder, zoom in.
Yep.
And it's already moving. Lovely. Right, what you're going to want to do is, if you're a kid doing this, no oil needed. You just want to get a last bit of butter in there. Start pushing it around.
So you're really just melting the butter here, yeah?
Yes, we're just melting the butter. If you wanted to, you could just leave it, but it's a lot more quicker if you start doing this.
Could you do it in the microwave?
Yeah, you could do it in the microwave if you wanted, but I do find this method more fun. And the butter does tend to stick to the spatula quite a bit. Faster than I made these yesterday. Oh, and also, whilst that's melting, for anybody who is wondering what the finished product should look like, they should look something like this. Very delicious, nice brownies. Which are actually delicious because I've ate them. Now the butter should start showing up a little bit, some white bits. Perfectly normal, happens all the time. It is a part of melted butter. Okay, so the butter's about melted there. So what you want to do now is you want to take the cocoa powder and pour all of that in. Just for the information, the cocoa powder, you want 85 grams of cocoa powder, and you want to pour all into the pan. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to stir it in. It's going to start looking like hot tarmac, really. So it should look kind of brownish black. Yeah, no, it's starting to look like tarmac, as you can see. You've got to really... Might still be a bit spewy, so really put some effort into this one as well. Okay, smells like chocolate. Okay, and it's looking very good now. What you want to do is you want to take the heat off now, I think. Oh god, I don't know how this looks. That's actually
Second one.
Yeah. Right, start stirring it around.
How's it looking?
Looking like that. Looking quite good.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
And next, I believe, is beat the 1.5 cups of sugar and vanilla into the cooled mixture of the mixing bowl. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave this for a second. Take this flour and water mixture, which actually really does look and smell like heated dough. So what you're going to do is going to take the vanilla extract and just do a little dollop of that.
Just a little drip, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is 1.5 cups of sugar, caster sugar, or 210 grams. So you're just going to go boom. Zoom in, please. It's quite a lot of sugar. So what you're going to want to do is start mixing that in until it all blends in. If you remember with the cake making, you should blend it in until it does until it's all smooth texture.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to put in a lot of elbow grease, which really kind of put me off my appetite there. Pizza dough. I can't get over how much it smells like pizza. It's quite cool. Okay, and now you've been doing it for that long, you're going to want to take this. Now, if you still don't feel comfortable with this, you can ask an adult to do it. What you're going to do is you're going to take all of that mixture, that tarmac. It's not actual tarmac. I'm not trying to poison you. Try and get as much as you possibly can in.
Scrape around the pan.
And then what you're going to do is There's some on there, so we're just going to take this off. There we go. And now you're going to mix this in. And then it's going to turn into the primal brownie mixture.
How many brownies will this make, do you think?
This will make a decent, maybe 16, maybe?
16, yeah.
Somewhere between 16 and 12, maybe. And as I said last time, elbow grease is very good here.
Lots of elbow grease in this recipe.
Lots of elbow grease, lots of elbow grease.
Let me see.
I find this best is a spatula. For everyone who is tuning in, we have just started making the primal brownie mixture. Alright, that looks about done. So the next thing you're going to want to do is add the 2 cups of self-raising flour. Now don't add them all at once. It will make a very big poof, so just gently scoop it in.
Do you have to mix it in sort of bits?
Not really. You can just
Okay.
you can just put all of it in and then gently mix it.
Okay.
Notice I'm not using my mixer because it is a lot better if you just do it like this.
Just do it by hand.
I actually find this is the most satisfying bit because the flour is like goes into chunks and then disappears. It's really funny. And then look, oh yeah. But occasionally get all the flour in and then look. If that doesn't look satisfying to you, I don't know what does.
Looks very nice.
Oh, a step I forgot to mention. You want to take a pan, and you do not have to use this. The reason we're doing it is because our pan is quite minging. So we're gonna have to take baking paper. And then you can take butter, oil. I'm using spray-on coconut oil because this is the only thing we had. And we're gonna use this about that. Make sure to.
And that's to stop it sticking, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
That should be about good with it. Right, and one more big screw. There you go. Okay. And now you're going to. Oh wow, that's thick. You're going to want to add the sugar and baking powder in after you finish doing this. Whoa. Now that is a brownie mixture.
Once you put the sugar in,
Alright.
salt and baking powder.
Oh, that's salt and baking powder. Salt and baking powder, sorry.
A good mix.
And then you're gonna want to put a tiny little bit of water in. Maybe just a little bit. Ow!
What's that, sort of half a cup?
Yeah. And then if you feel like the brownie mixture is getting too hard to mix, then just pour in water. Try to be like discreet though. Oh god, this is going everywhere.
Or get your parent to do it.
I'll get your parents to do it.
How's that mix looking?
Looking really good, as you can see. Now, a mistake I first made is that there's my cleanup. I didn't fully mix it in after I added the water in. So you're going to want to do that, otherwise the bottoms are going to be quite soggy. Daddy, you just knocked a flower petal into the pan.
Oh, sorry.
Disgusting. Okay, at this point you can add whatever you want into it. Walnuts, chopped chocolate, orange peel, ginger, or you can just keep it plain like I am. Traditional brownies. I've heard somebody added lettuce into one. It was like a vegetable brownie.
Wow.
Something.
Courgette maybe.
Courgette.
Beetroot.
And then there's the obvious other brownie that we don't talk about because this is a kids' cooking show.
How's that looking?
It's very good. Okay.
It's actually looking very good.
At this point, you're going to want to resist the temptation to lick your hands or the spatula.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to want to put this in. Okay, this is also very hard. If you want a parent to do it, feel free. Okay, so it's going to all go in. As you can see, you've got to get all of it. And the baking paper is being annoying.
Looks good.
Baking paper. I don't know if you've noticed, but every time I try to say baking paper, I say baking powder. So, and I'm finally getting it right now. So, okay, that does actually look about good.
And then do you have to smooth it out?
Yes.
Okay, you can do that in a second.
Did you just lick your fingers?
No.
Were you lying?
No. Okay, now what you're gonna do is with the mixture, you're gonna want to smooth, like,
This way.
pull it out. Here we are, like that. This there. So it is very stretched, and the brownies aren't majorly thick. Okay, and it should look something just like that.
You see?
Something like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then, because our oven is still not hot enough, that might take a while. As you can see, the orange light is still not off. So you're going to want to wait until you feel it's right to put it in. That was the brownie mixture.
How long does it have to be in the oven for?
About 20 minutes maybe, 20, 25, somewhere between there. Whatever you feel is right. If you like brownies burnt to the core, I don't know who does, then feel free to put it in for 1 hour, please don't.
No.
No.
How do you check that they're done?
You check that they're done by, not everyone has one of these, but you just can use a knife, or you just stick it in, and then if it's dry or if it's just a tiny bit moist, it should be okay to eat. Okay, that looks about good. Thank you for watching. That was brownie mixturing, and leave your end results in the comments below. Thank you, see you next Monday. Goodbye.